The Trial of Allegiance. I want to say Trail of Allegiance. I don't know why. It's the Trial. Actually, it's not the Trial. It's Trial of Allegiance. This is a new expansion for Hearts of Iron 4. And it is a country pack, meaning it is focus trees for new countries. And we're going to be playing as Brazil today. I'm going to show you the democratic path. No, it's not the democratic path. It's technically the historical path. But you've got a really weird option at the bottom of the focus tree to annex members of your faction, which is kind of goofy, and I don't think it's working right at the moment. But hey, this is the game we're given right now. It might have a few glitches. It is a rough diamond, and we will polish that diamond until we can see our face in it. Well, Paradox will anyway. I won't do that. I can't code. Anyway, yeah, this is me playing Brazil. This is a long-form video where I will show 99.9% of the clicks. I will try my absolute best to min-max. However, I am a bit of a 50-50 kind of guy. I like to have fun. I also like to min-max. So some of my choices may not be the most optimal because I may lean towards more fun. Also be aware, I have an obsession with Speed 5 because I've got an RTS background like StarCraft, Age of Empires, Command & Conquer. I'm obsessed with Speed 5, so I might be Speed 5 more than you would like. And I also battle plan it quite a lot with a little bit of micro mixing as well. Listen, I'm setting your expectations, okay? If they're not your cup of tea, please click away from this video. I don't want to ruin your day. But if you like long form, min-maxy style videos, this is a video for you. And we call these every single click videos. So basically, I'm going to do every click, and I'll do a little explanation on every click I make to give you a little bit more background. I made a whole series of these where I did 14 of them, playing all the major powers and a bunch of minor powers in the Axis and Allies. If you want to check those out, check those ones out. This might be a little bit different because I'll probably need to improvise more because I'm not as familiar with the focus trees. So you might see me think and go, is that the right decision? And I might make a bad decision and later on be like, okay, probably should have done that a little bit better. I'll try and explain my thoughts as much as possible. Okay, that is the fluff out of the way. Let's actually play the game. So every Hearts of Iron 4 game, you start by taking care of these notifications. These notifications are the biggest problems your nation has to deal with. And some of these are crucially bad if you don't take care of them immediately because you will be losing something. Example, if you don't assign your free military factories, we currently have 2 of them assigned and 1 of them is unassigned, meaning that factory is sat there doing nothing. So 1 that's not assigned will give you absolutely nothing. You get nothing. And that will result in or just a net loss. So in this case, what we're going to do is assign 3 mils on infantry equipment because this will be our primary weapon that we'll produce in the early game. I guess we could go for artillery, I guess. And you know what? I'm going to mix things up. What I'm going to do is start a new assembly line to build new equipment, hold shift. Shift basically just means it starts the assembly line at the top. If you click it, it assigns it at the bottom. Trying to get the habit of hitting shift and assign it to the top. It's just easier for your visuals that way. And we'll do 1 into trucks. And then I think we'll probably do 1 into artillery. And then the rest will assign onto mills. The way it works is if you were to build new military factories, they will assign into these gray slots, starting from top to bottom. So for instance, if I make the next military factory would go into the 2nd artillery. And then the next one would go into infantry equipment. And that's how I've assigned it in up to down format order. And it also, resources will be assigned to the top production line over the other ones too. So if you hover over here, you can see there's a penalty for production here. A 15% lack of resources for this one suffers from no lack of resources, but if I was to shift that around, it will scale in the opposite direction. My advice to you is the most numerous weapon you want to produce, aka, and the cheapest is probably going to best to have on the bottom. That's why most of the time you see convoys on the bottom. I'll make convoys and pop that there, and you also see my infantry equipment on the bottom as well. Also, this has not got a Mayo assigned. Mayos cost a very small amount of political power, but they gain XP for your Mayos, which give production bonuses as well as stat bonuses, etc. For instance, if let's say click on this Mayo, it's got 0 skill 0, it levels up to level 1, then you gain a trait point. And if I put it into this one, which is probably the most one you'd select usually, it gives 2% soft attack and reliability. The soft attack for guns is important because that's the primary reason why you make these, because they fill out your infantry with soft attack. And then going for production next is usually the best thing to do. So we'll assign that on, and it will also give a bonus that Maya will give you 0.03% more production efficiency cap. So you can see that this cap will increase now by the smallest amount. Yeah, by the smallest amount. So it's a cap. Oh yeah, there you go. Efficiency cap 33%, but the efficiency cap for this one is 30%. But I don't like to dig too deep into the numbers. It's nice to glance over them and be like, oh, this is how this is the way this mechanic works. But I don't really feel like you become a better player by obsessing over the numbers. Anyway, next one we're going to go for is research. You can bank this for 30 days, so you don't lose anything with this one. So this one isn't as crucial. We'll do one that's crucial. This one, free civilian factories. So you have 6 civilian factories here that are unassigned. What you do with civilian factories is for construction. So in this case, well, we're going to build... we'll build civilian factories, and we'll place one here and probably one here. You can see closely 9 civilian factories are being used now to build another civilian factory. Perpetual growth, boys, using your civvies to build civvies. There are penalties though, because as you can see, we're on civilian economy. You think a civilian economy would give you more construction for civilian economy, but it doesn't. That's not the way the game works, guys. But you make civvies at the start of the game, because initially you want to get your economy going, and usually at the very start of the game, that's the best way to do it. On hindsight, I've actually now thought about that. I'm actually going to get rid of those. I'm hitting enter, by the way, to get rid of the notification. I'm going to make infrastructure and build them in my capital region here. What I did here was I hold shift and it would build the maximum amount. So you can see 1 of 5, and if I hold shift, it'll build the 4 levels. But if I click them one by one, it just builds one by one, in just a quick way of doing it. The reason I build infrastructure at the start of the game is because you're on civilian economy, and civilian economy has big penalties for civilian and military construction. So technically, you want to build something that doesn't suffer from a penalty, so you can make the most of your infrastructure. And also the reason why we've gone for infrastructure in the capital is if you look really closely on my industrial tree, you see, where is it? Here, it gives you 24 steel in Rio, which I believe is your capital at the moment. Yeah, it is. And that way you gain more infrastructure, will gain you more resources, because it does actually say, if you look really closely, click on the state. Well, actually, that hasn't got any steel. If you click on this state, for instance, you can see here, infrastructure is giving you 0.12 extra resources for that region. All right, okay, I feel like we've talked a little bit too much now. Let's move on. So now all of these aren't crucial. These ones can be banked. You can bank 30 days for research. If you don't select a national focus, that's not a big deal either, because you gain extra political power, and you could bank, I believe, 30 days, 10 days worth of national focus progress to assign on to something else. Regarding the national focus tree, on the left, you've got your communist path. On the center, I believe this is the democratic path. This is the monarchist path. This is the historical non-aligned, like military junta style path. And this is the fascist path. So the path we're going to go for is this one. The Tribunal de National Tribunal, I guess. And then move down the left path. You tend to find with Hearts of Iron 4 that going for the historical path early on tends to be the way forward, because it gets rid of a lot of these national spirits. So weak government is the big one. So if you want to find out how to get rid of weak government, you search in this box in the top right. So weak. And you can see you get rid of weak government from here. So to be fair, the first thing you really want to do, the most important resource at the start of the game, in most cases, not always, but most cases, is political power. So getting rid of weak government is going to be a win for me. All right, next up we're going to do research. Once again, going to be super basic. We're going to go for machine tools for extra production and construction to build our industry up. A bit of a no-brainer. Going to assign our army by shift left clicking on unassigned divisions, right click onto an army, and I press V, which is area defense, and click on Rio and move them all over to there. And then we'll convert the lot into horses. We could do the one division trick. Yeah, why not? We'll do the one division trick. So I basically hold shift, click on one of the selected divisions, then delete them out. And now we have one division, and then we're going to exercise him. It's kind of an exploit, but it's nowhere near as effective as it ever used to be. It's just a way of getting a little bit of XP, and now you can abuse it a little bit more by going for proper heritage, which we will work towards, so you'll see that anyway. And that's pretty much it. I think I want to import a little bit of steel from America just to keep up our gun production, because this is something we're going to be behind on. Do you know what? I've changed my mind on that. I took a U-turn. I realized we've got one division. We don't even need the guns. So that's not even important. So I've cancelled that off. By the way, importing resources into your country will cost civilian factories, so it will hurt your early industry. So I would not recommend that. This one basically means we're not producing equipment for carrier fighters. Carrier fighters are the fighters you start the game with as Brazil. Why do you have carrier fighters without any carriers? I'm not certain, but regardless, they can be put on carriers. Anyway, we're going to press G to merge them, and I'll press Shift left click to exercise these to level 3. Also, so we don't need to worry about that. We're not trading enemy divisions. I don't know why the game always actually know this. Like, you must constantly produce extra trading of divisions if you need them. I don't think that's really necessary, but anyway, I'm doing that anyway. Next up, template and insufficient resources. Good. All right, so you have got a few problems inside of Brazil. Let's cover them really quickly because I don't want to bash on about them. One, there are only a few states in the game that have unrestricted production in them. Like, for instance, the coast here. This one doesn't, and this one does too. What it basically has here is if you click on the state and then click on this, you have neglected state. This is an awful modifier, and I'm not a big fan of this in Hearts of Iron 4 full stop, because there is no way you can visualize this very easily by looking on the map. Like, for instance, I'd like to see it here, but you can't. Anyway, so you click on individual ones, you have to hover over the tooltip, and it'll tell you the penalties. In short, to get rid of those penalties, you have to go down this path here. And if you look really closely, some of them say modified neglected state to growing state, giving production bonuses, and there's like 5 of them baked into the industrial tree, so you end up having to do those anyway. What's really annoying though about neglected state though is that you end up avoiding neglected states. The neglected states become more neglected, which is strange. Anyway, we're going to go 3 speed and unpause while I just yabber on. So we are still playing the game. Also, they've got an issue in the north too with bandits. The bandits have an additional penalty, which is this one. I always think this looks a bit like a taco. Does anyone else feel the same way? Does this look like a taco? No. Anyway, regardless, this is the menace, which is basically the bandits. It just gives you a pop-up to remind you. And you get rid of it by assigning command power. I like that you use command power for something. I think that's so cool because command power is the most neglected resources in Hearts of Iron 4. I really don't like that you don't get to use it. Anyway, we need to get a certain amount of ideology to progress down the focus tree. And to do that, we have to go for this one and get 50% support for the military or 50% support for fascism. Of course, it's going to be the military. So let's have a little look at my advisors and see if there are any advisors that might help us gain a little bit more support for non-aligned. And I don't actually think there are. So what I'm doing here is I'm hovering over these boyos and I'm just having a little cheeky peek to see if they give any ideology for non-aligned. Oh, there's one here. Controversial academic needs 4 conscription laws. That's very interesting. And regardless, we're going to ensure military support. At the very same time, what we're also going to do is do anti-fascist raids and anti-communist raids. In short, this gives a net +2 stability. However, you do lose 10% stability initially. So net 12%, well, net 2%, overall 12% you gain, but you lose 10% initially. Costs you political power, and it gains you more support for your ideology. You do gain a little bit more stability overall, too, because you gain more of your party popularity support as well. So there's a little bit more than 2% on top of that as well, due to the fact that your party ruling popularity will increase your base amount of stability. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm bombarding you guys with numbers. Do you guys enjoy the numbers? I don't know. I feel like the numbers are a bit too much for me. But anyway, let me know if I'm yabbering about the numbers too much. The reason why we went for motorized trucks, by the way, is it's for supply reasons. And you'll see later on that supply in this area of the world is bad. So I went F4 here and you can see the supply map mode. And you can basically see only the southern part is connected by railroad. Then you've got a river connecting to the northern bits. Bit of railway here, bit of railway here. And that's pretty much it. And you can see most of it in the north is connected by rivers as well. Ensure military support is done. Okay. So if you wanted to, you could go for this one if you want to, but you don't need to. See this dotted line here? Basically just telling you that you need one or the other. If you hover over, it says requires one of the following. So regardless of that, we're going to hop over to the... What branch are we going to do? I think what we're going to do is we're going to do the military branch here, because this gives ticking army XP. And ticking arm XP will pay off massively in the long run. And this is added on indefinitely. And it's only 35 days. Gives a bunch of XP too. Honestly, that's a win-win-win situation. So I want to take advantage of it. So you can see we're gaining XP right now. Not a massive amount. And that's from just that one division training. And that's the kind of the glitch behind it. As you can see though, we're like 3 months into the game. We've only gained 4 XP. So it's not a massive amount. However, you can increase that amount by a massive amount by going for proper heritage, which you'll see soon. Okay, so this one is done now. What we need to do is do the aftermath of the coffee crisis, get the radio, and also deal with the bandits. So let's do that one now. This fixes our economy a little bit. One little gripe I've got here. Now, I don't want this to turn into me bashing Paradox on national focus design, but it feels a bit strange to me like you fix your economy just by naturally progressing down the national focuses. I feel like there needs to be more choices and decisions baked here. Like I choose to fix the economy or I delay it for some other significant benefit. You know what I mean? So just the fact that I progress down the factory path and I fix the economy automatically, it feels well that's the natural path I would normally do anyway. Does that make sense? Am I talking rubbish? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, 5 speed. Off we go again. Off we go. Okay, we have the option now. Oh, we can't. We need 5 more XP for that. We're getting there, though. We're getting there. What we also want to do, when we've got the option to do it, is go for army defense. And we'll do that one immediately because this is going to give you ticking army XP again, which is going to give us more army XP, which, once again, build up our divisions and go for our doctrines. Do we want to do more infrastructure? I don't think we're going to be building any other resources anywhere else. What I'm going to do here is click on this window and click on states. And you can see the states that are going to have the most building slots. So in Hoi 4, they're all ranked based upon how many building slots you can have. So the blue ones are the best ones, which is Megatropolis. Then there's another one that's Metropolis. And then there's the green one. So blue best, green good, yellow not so good, orange and black very bad. So you can see here, there's 2 states here, back to back, that are both green. So I'm going to basically fill them up, both of them out. Because that basically tells me when I get more building slots, which I will, Eventually, then I'll be able to build more buildings into them and take advantage of the infrastructure bonus. Does that make sense? Yes? No? Well, let me know in the comments. Anyway, radio is the next one we're going to go for, which is a really strange one. So you gain radio for free. Because look, this actually says add technology radio, which is kind of funny in a way, because normally you'd have to go for this one first, just due to the fact it gives reinforce rate. But not today. Anyway, we're going to go for disperse industry, which gives building slots, factory output. It is your go-to no-brainer one for Hoi 4. You always want disperse industry or concentrate industry. It is what it is. All right, now we're going to go for proper heritage, which gives horse attack as well as free horses. So then what we do then is make basically a massive horse division. 1, 2, 3. It kind of cool if there's a hotkey that automatically copied the one from the top down. Because like you can only select one on a row now. So why do I need to select it? Yeah, that's actually a game design quality of life thing there, isn't it? If there's only one possible option I can select clicking down, why do I need to fill them out? Should I just click them once, right? Ooh, game design 101. Hire FeedBackGaming. He knows how to make focus trees, does he? Does he not? Guys, I'm going to be totally real with you. This is just a random chatter for the video, by the way. I have actually considered making a focus tree, maybe for some nation like Austria or Belgium, one of the nations that don't have focus trees, and just see if I can make it with my design ideas and see if I can make a cool one. If anyone a modder will be interested in investing a little bit of time on working with my ideas and sitting down and talking to them, just DM me on Discord. My Discords are open. My Discord DMs are open to everyone. Just assigning admirals and generals, for instance, doesn't really matter. We've got not really anyone that really sticks out, to be honest with you. Nah, no one really. There's no exceptional guys here, put it that way. I'll be fair with you. Maybe going for the Ranger's pretty good. Because what we could do is get Jungle Rat and Ranger. Yeah, why not? It's just a pet project for FeedBackGaming. It's not something like a business decision. It's just something I like to do for a bit of fun. I mean, modding is fun, right? No? Yes? Let me know in the comments below. Construction ones do go for construction too. That is ahead of time because this is technology for 1937. Going for this means I will incur a penalty to research, but it is so crucial to get the industry going. I would highly recommend it. What we're going to do now is queue up some buildings. And I think what I'm going to do is build... Ooh... I think I want to get some military factories early on, so I'm just going to queue them up on the back of the infrastructure. So I held shift, it assigned them to the queue. And remember, it always works from top to bottom for production. So 9 civs are on this. Then when this is done, it'll go 9 civs will go onto that. Does that make sense? Deal with the kangas. Yes, deal with those. And this will cost us command power. But the beauty of this is then we get to fix the issue in the north. And to be honest with you, there's not really much of a big deal not to do with it. All it does is it hurts your stability in the long run. So my advice is spend your free command power, which you get for free anyway, and then assign them into that region. To be fair, there's not really much you lose from not doing this, so I'd recommend you do it as soon as possible. And then at the same time, when this is done, we'll continue down the focus path so we can fix our broken government. Failure to complete this mission will result in a coup. Oh no, no coups today. Anyway, so let's do this. Let's fix these. I don't think it makes a big difference, really. Have anyone got resources? This one's got tungsten. Let's do this one then. So they cost you 25 command power. You do them one by one. It takes a month each. And this event will stop firing overall when you remove all of them. That means you'd not start losing stability over time. It says you lose some XP for these. Am I right about this? Or do you gain XP? You gain XP. Wow. Wow, so it feels like there's a net gain to remove them. I kind of like this. I like this because at least it has an incentive for me to do them. Because I'll be fair, I played a game before and I just ignored this. I just ignored them. I mean, they were making me lose a little bit of stability, which is annoying. But then I realized it's like, well, I mean, the stability I'm losing is so small. I just don't care that much. So these are the possible things that could happen. So you could lose a little bit of stability. And you can also get a chance for a state to have active... Oh, so basically the bandits can expand. So it gives you a reason to basically get rid of them. Okay, I kind of like the way that mechanic works. All right, this guy allows us to go for political advisors, 20% cheaper. And it also gives ticking political power. So once I talked about political power, it's super important at the start of the game. Because you spend political power and it potentially can give you more political power. Because political power is like your #1 resource at the start of the game. So we have no command power at the moment, which is a bit of a pain in the ass, so we can't start getting rid of them. So there's a kind of a limitation of how quickly you can get rid of them. All right, this is the Cohen plan, and now we can go for the Estado Novo, which rings a bell actually, because that isn't there a focus for Portugal called something like that? Let's have a look. Something Novo? There we go. Yeah, Novo. Go on, Portuguese viewers. Tell me what Novo translates to. Anyway, we're going to do this one now, and the state of emergency ends. So, my understanding is... Someone correct me in the comments, basically. If I'm totally wrong, I'm talking rubbish, please let me know. My understanding is that it is a dictator you're having. It has its strength is in the military because it's connected with the politics of the nation. So I'm not going to call it a military junta because it's not technically the general that's in charge, but it is an actual president, and he's a dictator because he's not having elections. Boo, no elections. There we go. So we've just got dispersed 1, so now we've got the option to build inside our capital as well. I could queue them up if I wanted to. It makes me wonder if I want mills this early on now. I think what we will do now is hop up to partial mobilization, because it gives access to more civilian factories, and it also gets rid of the penalties for production of mills. So now if you hover over this now, there's no penalty for partial mobilization. And there you go. We've got access to 3 more civilian factories. There we go. And now we can get rid of weak government, which is the most important part of all of this. Look how much army XP we're gaining right now. That's just insane, right? So not only is the 1 division trick the biggest propeller of this, but also there's the stacking national spirit modifier, and then there's also the chief of the army. You seem to have a lot of these as South America, due to the fact that you have that ticking XP guy. I like it so much. I love this a 35-day focus too. Once again, I'm not always like big on 35-day focuses, because sometimes if you have 2 focuses, 1 35-day that gives 1 civilian factory, or 2 focuses that are 35 days that give a civilian factory, and then a 70-day one that gives 2 civilian factories. I mean, technically they're the same, right? And you're just kind of making me click more, but not necessarily giving me more for my money, I guess. I suppose with me, because I play at 5C most of the time, I kind of have a really fast flow of my gameplay. So a 70-day focus or a 35-day focus makes not much difference to me. If you hover over this one, modify government, you can actually see what you can assign. And it actually is an industrial concern, which increases civilian factory production. It's only a 50 political power as well. Do we assign it? Do we do it? I don't think I want to. I think I want to save the political power. Anyway, let's hunt some bandits again. All right, we no longer have a weak government. And also the beauty of this is we lose the modifier, hurting our command power gain. That means we've got more command power available to us to hunt the bandits. The political instability in Brazil now has been fixed. You can take it a step further here by banning political pies. It's insane. Okay. So it looks like this part of the focus tree, I need 25 factories to progress. We're not even that far away from that. Only 2 more. I think one thing that's a bit strange is that you gain civilian factories from trade, and they class as your total economy. So right now, if someone was to stop trading with us, we kind of would lose that 1 factory, which is annoying sometimes because you could be mid through a focus and it can be cancelled because someone breaks a trade deal with you. And the AI's got like a really annoying problem sometimes where it keeps breaking off trade deals over and over again, which is not fun. All right, so one thing I've spotted that we don't got is we've only got 2 research slots. So what I think to do is click on research and look for a number more research slots. So there's 1 here, there's 1 here, and then looks like, no, that's it. There's only 2. So usually getting 3 allows us just to diversify our economy just a tiny little bit to allow us to, well, I guess do a little bit more, I suppose. Okay, let's ban political pies because it gives stability. I'm going to go for machine tools now for the production cap. We successfully got rid of the bandits again, and we need a little bit more command power to get rid of the next one. That's good. It's so unbelievably tempting to try and annex Uruguay here. I wonder if I try and boost relations with Uruguay, maybe they'll accept the ultimatum. Because what I don't want to do is cause world tension, because that's going to hurt relations, and I eventually want to join the Allies. Okay, this guy gives more political power, 7% more. I think I'm going to end up in a situation where I've probably got too much political power. That happens every time. Okay, this guy is super OP. Look at this guy. So he makes advisors cheaper, gives you war support, reduces conscription laws, it changes trade laws slightly, but I don't think that's a big deal. He seems to gain a lot, but now I think about it, I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, what do I even gain from a lot of this? Okay, I think what we're going to go for is the distinguished diplomat. A distinguished gentleman. And now he's going to give us some more political power. There's never any short political power in South America, that's for certain. Another option here to remove separatist sentiments, getting you political power 35 days while fixing your economies is so easy as Brazil. Oh my goodness, you fix it so quick. Republican Spain would like a request access to our ports. I'm gonna say yes because why not? It's a little bit random, but okay. All right, we're going to get rid of some more bandits. We're also going to boost relations with Uruguay. Because I'm just curious to see if I go for the Uruguay ultimatum, what's actually going to happen. I don't think it instantly declares, or if it does, I'm going to be a bad state anyway. I've only got 1 division. Here we go, 1 boyo. Here we go. Sometimes artificially making your army larger can affect the effect on like ultimatums, for instance. Once again, a lot of time, the issue with Hoi 4 focuses is it doesn't give you enough information. Sometimes it says something here like more relations, they're more likely to say yes. Or if you have a large army, they're more likely to say yes, for instance. So I'm just going to go with my gut here and just see if I deploy more divisions here, whether it'll have an impact. Might do, it might not. And then the very final bandit has been removed. So if you notice one thing here, these events are all popped up and removed. I've seen these events 1,000 times. So what I've done is I've turned off these news pop-ups because I just think they're kind of annoying. Minor pop-ups are turned off too. They're like ACE generated, for instance. And I just have event pop-ups. So I presume those are events specifically for me. I presume. Anyway, we're going to build some civvies here. And then I don't think there's anywhere else we can build that doesn't have this neglected state. This is another issue. Look, I have to click through the states one by one to find out where the neglected state is. I feel there just needs to be a map mode for this so I can actually see it. Oh, this one isn't neglected. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. I just learned something new. So these ones are all neglected. Well, this one's not neglected either. It's just got bandits. These two aren't neglected. But this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one all are. Interesting. Interesting. I'm learning new things. Anyway, we're going to deploy our boyos. We're going to deploy 2 horses, and then we're going to prioritize the equipment so that the equipment goes to these divisions first. They're not going to be appropriately trained, but I'll deploy them. Maybe we'll get a 3rd one, 4th one. We'll deploy that one too. What I'm doing here is prioritizing supplies, saying I only want 1 of them, and then also assigning directly to this front line immediately. All right, we've got the option here to build civvies. So what I'm going to do is build them in these regions that have got 100% infrastructure to gain 100% construction bonus. So I'm going to hold shift and control and click and assign them to the top. And we'll let them finish just this one because it's partially constructed anyway. Feels like a waste of production otherwise. Okay. I think something we need to do right now is to gain some steel. And we definitely need that. Yeah, so we can take care of that immediately. What we can do on the back of that too is get a little bit of excavation too. I haven't quite decided what the build is going to be with this. We need another research slot because otherwise we're going to be stuck. There's a part of me that wants to do a marine build and then pair it with mechanized, for instance. Amphibious mechanized. Is that a good idea, do you think? I'll have a think about that. Anyway, we're going to go for excavation. Gives 10% more resources. This is about to have steel, and that'll pair with the infrastructure as well. So basically stacking modifiers to gain more steel. And steel is the most important resource, and you can see we're really far behind on it, as you can see too. The leader of the bandits has been killed, gaining us a massive amount of political power and army XP. So much army XP, and it's 1937. We've not even been involved in a war yet. That's insane. We're sitting on political power now, so that's not good. So we're going to hire this guy because he does lots of green. Lots of green is good, right? And then, wow, we fixed our economy so unbelievably quickly. I don't know, everything just seems kind of pointless now. Anyway, we'll get the steel. We'll send the ultimatum to Uruguay. We'll improve relations with them. Oh, we've already maxed relations. We're improving relations some more. More. We've got so much political power, it doesn't even matter. We also have the option for a shipping concern, which gives a ship repair speed. That's really interesting. So 10% ship repair speed on top of naval refits. So that gives some insane repair speed. But once again, you don't have a navy, and you have to deal with the legacy of the arms race. Yeah, I'm not into that. We go for this one too, railway company, which allows you to make supply depots 15% faster. That's actually pretty good to say that we are in the world. Oh, I'm so tempted. I think we'll just go for the industrial concern for now. Industry tech early game, very important, very big, very good. All right, we've got an army of 4 divisions, big boys. And that consists of 80,000 troops. That doesn't feel like a massive amount. But regardless, let's go for the Uruguay ultimatum to see how things go. Right, we have steel in Rio now, and it's hitting 58 steel. So think about this for a second. So not only have you gained 24 from the focus, but you've also gained an additional amount from the infrastructure of ×2. Then there's supply routes, which is a strange one. So if there's a supply depot in a region, you gain 20% more resources. So if there's ever a supply region in a game that doesn't have a supply depot, if you build a supply depot in there, it'll give you 20% more resources. It's like a hidden modifier that like the devs have never spoken about. I don't know why, but regardless. There's not many in the game though, by the way. I think there's like 1 in Germany. I seem to recall there's like 1 in Germany. Maybe I'm wrong. No, maybe I'm... Oh, there's 1 here. There's no resources here. Regardless, anyway, if there's no supply depot in a region, if you build it, it gives 10-20% extra resources. And then to top that off, we've gone for these techs too, giving an additional 10% more and more, and you can see now we've fixed our steel problem. And the beauty now is we can also export steel to other nations. No one wants to trade with us yet. Okay, let's make a little bit more artillery. So we'll go for that. And then at the same time, a little bit of anti-air, I guess. Just a little bit. Just mixing things up a little bit. So we've still got some infantry production. And then to top that off, we've got production on other bits of equipment as well. So we can mix things up. So they accept our annexation. We've annexed Uruguay completely. We gain all their divisions as well. What was the code in there that made that happen and it made them agree to it? I actually just don't know. Maybe it was the relations. Maybe it was the size of our army. I am not certain. Anyway, regardless, we're going to get rid of all divisions apart from one and go back to one division training again and move you right here. Okay, when it comes down to this, though, I'm not sure what to do. I think we just go for civilian economy. Yeah, we do that. And then assign that on with horses. And then it'll build infrastructure up over time. I guess what we could do on top of that off as well is we could go for this bonus, which gives a free agency. We can use it to reduce resistance. Something I don't usually do, but in this one instance, it might be worthwhile. So you can embrace corporatism, which gives a nice flat bonus, or you embrace autarky, which gives construction. One is definitely better than the other. However, this one is pretty... Oh, no, hang on. You need this one or this one. Okay, we'll do embrace corporatism anyway. Now, the Uruguayans are being forced to speak Portuguese. And now we go for the Departamento de Ordem Política e Social. Nice. Our excavation's done. And we've got an operative. And to top that off, we can get a research slot. Yep, it's definitely worth it this time. And at the same time, we've also got excavation as well, which just give us some more resources. We don't want to focus on the economy. Now we should be thinking about how we work towards mechanized. Yeah, I think we need Marine 1 just so we can get the Special Forces bonuses, so we'll get that one now. We've got a little bit of fuel. I've just realized, a little bit of fuel right there. Oh, it's actually from Uruguay. So now I can exercise my fleet, and it can indefinitely exercise now for 2 years. Yeah, I'll take that. We'll gain a little bit of naval XP. Why not, right? It's a bit exploit, but whatever. Anyway, we'll recruit her an operative, and then we'll put her on root out resistance. It doesn't matter where you put her, and just overall it reduces resistance in this region. It's probably, from my perspective, the most underused operative ability that you can use, but it is probably the most effective as well. So it will reduce the resistance target by 10%. So it will go from 22 to 12. Why did I have to think about that so much? Oh my god, my brain there. And we could do this. We could increase it by 25% as well. So I suppose overall then you can reduce it by 15% if you max out with both bonuses. Excavation is done. Okay, and we're also going to start working on trucks to work towards mechanized as well. Maybe we could make some tanks as well, some amphibious tanks on the back of this. I don't know. I've not really thought that far ahead. Oh, now I think about it, I do actually need to do this because I need naval XP, don't I? I need Navy XP. Oh, that's a biggie because that's how I improve my Marines. I forget that I have to use different resources. That's so good though, isn't it? The special forces make you think about, well, I need air XP now for land stuff. I need naval XP for land stuff. I don't know, I think it's really big. So now, she's reducing it now by the base amount. Oh, it still says 10%, but apparently it's more effective. We have to believe them, right? Paradox, I have to believe you. If I want to sign it and then reassign it, still says 10%, even though we've got the first upgrade. A little bit of info about tanks. Light, mediums, and heavies have some differences. And armor is obviously the biggest one. Hardness is another big one. But another one is the terrain penalties. So light tanks, when attacking into forests, have a 40% movement penalty and 10%, 20% attack penalty. However, it's 30% for mediums, and it's 40% for heavies. So as you can see now, from a penalty perspective, light tanks overall are a little bit more flexible when it comes to working in different terrain types. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go for tanks. Oh, what? We don't have any Mayos? Oh, not even a generic one. Paradox. Why? Okay. Oh, well, is what it is. All right, this gives political power. Do I even need more political power right now? I've max stability and almost max war support. I'm going to go limited conscription because why not? All right, reward army loyalty. I'm just going for this one because it progresses down focus tree because we want to work towards the good neighbor. So the good neighbor is joining the allies and maybe even forming your own faction. It gives boosts of relations. You can also annex neighbors that aren't your ideology as well. Annex communist nation. Yeah, we'll do the good neighbor. Then we're working towards that anyway. Actually, I think what I want to do, now think about it. No, we'll get rid of this. We'll lose 1 day of progress. Then we'll go for this one because it gives 2 civilian factories and want to try and boost their economy by just a a very small amount. So right now, these ones, well, that's got neglected state, but that one isn't. It's so hard to keep track of the neglected states. There you go. Fix that. There we go. I should just max out the infrastructure in all the states that are classed as not neglected, right? And then they're easy to follow. That one's neglected. That one's neglected. That one isn't. Basically, there you go. But I'm just showing you there. These two, these three, and this one, as of Brazilian territory, are the ones that aren't neglected. And also, I suppose the states that I've just taken from Uruguay aren't neglected either. Also, I've noticed that rooting out resistances tends to be a little bit more effective for the compliance-based occupation laws. So these bottom ones tend to benefit more from rooting out resistance than these bottom ones. I don't know, it's just something I've noticed. It feels like when it's already low, it can't really get any lower, if that makes sense. You can see the resistance is going down now. Okay, where do we go from here? I think it's kind of silly that, as you can see from this, I'm only building in the states that are not neglected. So it kind of feels like I'm working against the game mechanics in a way, because I want to invest into different regions, but the game actively says you can't because there's a neglected penalty. Does that kind of feel like he's working against the mechanics, or is that just me? All right, next up, going to go to Officer Corps and go for Naval Reform, giving 15% extra XP. So that'll increase the base amount for all XP gains. So therefore, potentially over time, we can gain more XP. The Federal Employment Plan. And that gives them some civilian factories. Let me think for a second. So there are some benefits down here that I just think are a little bit lukewarm. So this one gives more civilian factories. I need to reward the army loyalty. We can also replace the president too. This one guy gives political power and stability, where this guy will give you construction for military stuffs. I suppose it's to move your economy. It's more war economy, I guess. Or alternatively, we can start fixing our neglected states. At the same time, I guess we could start working our army. It's kind of, I don't know, the goalposts have just become a lot wider, haven't they? Anyway, we'll go for this one because it gives ticking naval XP. I think the research slot's going to be worthwhile just so we can diversify our economy, so we can focus a little bit more on tanks as well as marines. We're going to start producing a trickle amount of trains, just a small amount. Marines is done. 35-day focus for one military factory. I feel like that's a no-brainer. So now there's an option down here to boost construction in states. So this is like a way of playing tall in different regions of Brazil. This one's pretty good too because it gives rubber in the Amazon and also gives more resources too. So it's not just, oh, actually it's in 2 states. Oh, wait, 40 rubber. Plus, on top of that, the modifiers. Ooh, that's very high. Okay, we got to do that one. Because that's going to boost our economy. Because people will want to trade with us. And we're already getting trade from America anyway. All right, go for the mechanized. Oh, that's way ahead of time, though, the mechanized. 2 ahead of time. We'll go for disperse instead. Just for the building slots. All right, light tank. Next light tank. There is no specialized industry for tank production in Brazil. We're just basically making it... just putting anything together and see how we can make it. Not a single Mayo will step forward to take these government contracts. That makes me feel really bad. All right, let's take out the rubber then. So that's finished now. Loads of rubber here and loads here. And we could increase this more by building infrastructure, but we've got the neglected penalty. So we want to try and get rid of that penalty. The easiest way of doing it, I believe, is going down this path. And we can stimulate the economy by boosting certain regions. You see, normally in Hawaii, I'd rush to go to war. However, I know that when I get down to the good neighbor and go down this path, I can't go to war until America is technically at war. And I kind of want to play historically. I could, if I want to, kind of glitch this one, because I've glitched this before by releasing Uruguay, making it a part of your faction, and then you can skip down this path. But I just don't want to. So I'm going to focus on building tall for now, and then go to war later on when America goes to war. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that, yeah. So let's go for Banco do Brasil. We're also going for the military theorist. I realize we're about to cap out at 500 XP for our doctrine. Wow, what doctrine would we do, lads? I feel like it'd be superior firepower. It wouldn't be air-land battle. Shock and awe would be pretty good. Yeah, let's do something a bit different. We're going to go for superior firepower and disperse integrated support. Disperse and integrated support, both. Why not both? And that also gives us smoke and fire, give an extra breakthrough. I always forget about some of these bonuses because I don't usually go down these paths. So our miles leveled up right now, so we're going to go for the one we talked about earlier, and we're going to shift and left click and assign all of these. Once again, this is kind of autopilot for me because I already know where all the good bonuses are. Focus on output initially, which is these two, and then focus on the big upgrades, which is the ones that are, well, the ones I've selected there anyway. We've just assigned them up. And if you want to, you can upgrade it. Oh, we can upgrade it now. There we go. And upgrade it with 5 XP. Yeah, there you go. Federal developments. This fix our neglected states. And we can also establish a new capital, which is really interesting. So it moves that capital city, gives a boost to that said region, and it allows you to build in that said region. It's... I feel like even when you move the capital, you still have neglected state. Yeah, you do. I'm trying to think of the best path to do this. Like, do I fix the neglected states or do I move the capital first? I think I have to do both. Why not both? All right, another upgrade for my spies, because I can, if I get 5 upgrades, I get an extra spy, and I'll probably use that at some point for some reason. I don't know what I would, but I would. And at the same time, let's focus on construction so we can get some more excavation tech, so we can get more resources. And look, people are trading with our steel now. Peru, Argentina, Venezuela, and also I saw Venezuela for a second was trading rubber with us, just for a brief moment. Yeah, we want to fix our economy now, so we're going to go for financial stimulation, and we'll go for another boost for our upgrades for our agency. SPILs is a good one. Interrogation techniques a good one. And then also focusing on naval departments, another good one as well. Just so we can get an extra +1 spy spot. That's the only reason why we're doing that. There we go. We've got an extra spy spot unlocking. There we go. Financial stimulation. So in decisions now, you've got the option to turn neglected state into growing state. So this transforms neglected state into growing state. Let's do it. So we're going to do this one. We'll do the Amazon. Where's the other one? We've got these two. I'm just curious to see how the neglected state thing changes, whether you still have to get rid of it or whether you have 2 modifiers, one for growing and one for neglected, which doesn't even make sense now I think about it. But this is I think this is a cool mechanic. I really like this. I like the idea of booming a certain state modifier, but I really wish there was a map mode so I could actually visually see which ones have a neglected and which ones are boosted. It's really sad that I have to manually click through every single state. I know, quality of life, that's all I'm going to say. And then we're going to create a new capital C. So apparently, historically, this didn't happen until after World War II. But you have the option to do it earlier on. So you're moving the capital from Rio to Brasilia. Brasilia, yeah. I also like these 35-day focuses too. That makes me feel good. Another spy. We'll go for the Stusa because they have less chance of getting captured. And I can start reducing resistance here. And if you double stack them, does it work? It does. Okay, we've established a new capital now. Oh, okay. Oh, I see what's happening now. I get it. I get it. So what it's done is it's given a bonus to neglected state and it's renamed it to growing state. So it's not changed the modifier. It's just renamed it. I see. And then also we've got the new capital construction as well. That's interesting. And it's also changed the state, I believe, to a rural region too. It still doesn't have a lot of building slots though. Do I care about developing that? Probably not. Okay, what I just want to do then is get rid of the construction penalty, the final local construction penalty. And you know how you find that? Type local. Local resources 10%. Nope. Local construction. There we go. So it's invest in railways. This one gives max building slots. And this one's construction as well. So that means you can get more construction than the base amount. Oh, and then there's another one here. Let's do them all. And then what I can do then is stack them super high, and then I can just build the infrastructure at 1,000 miles an hour. Okay, tank 2 is done. We'll start working on armor. Disperse 3 is done, so that means I can start queuing up the ones that have got max infrastructure. So Rio... Yep, that's good. We're still building in all the states here that are not neglected. Once again, breaking the game mechanics. Another Maya. We're going to go for production. Queue up that production too. Then go for the breakthrough. Anti-air attack is a good one. Yeah, I usually go for that right one, but I realized that 100% penalty, sorry, 100% bonus to hardness is just kind of pointless. But this one with 7% air attack is a lot better. Infrastructure and railways. Sorry, infrastructure of roads, and then railways. This gives an extra rubber in Para, which is this region, which we're going to stack on top by getting more rubber. Yeah. Oh, this is so good. Do you know what? Just building tall as Brazil, I'm actually getting a bit of a buzz from this. I'm actually enjoying it. It's kind of dumb in a way because I'm not paying them out, but I'm kind of getting a little bit of buzz from this. It's fun. Right, construction's done. We're going to go for some more excavation. Railway investment is done. And I feel like we've gotten this far. Oh, this gives a boost to excavation technologies as well. Then max building slots, available resources. Oh my goodness, there's so many juicy ones. I will say one thing though. Some of these bonuses that just give railway construction for 2 years aren't as interesting. Natural Petroleum Council. All right, now neglected state should give a big bonus. There you go. So now it gives local construction bonus. At the same time, what we could do now is max the infrastructure in these regions. And you can see now plus 22 rubber, plus 29 rubber. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then focus on those regions. And now if you hover over this, you can see, actually I have to hover it to the top. There you go, growing state plus 10%. Oh, I'm so invested into this. I'm so invested. Now, we'll come back to that later. We need to focus on the economy stuff. Let's reward the army loyalty. Then we can actually start getting to the meat of our focus trade. Because a few years, a bit more, no, a bit later than that, we'll eventually go to war anyway. So we need to take care of this now. We can also go for central bank too, which reduces our consumer goods by 15%. Let's see how much this gives. So we're on 33 factories. And then we go for central bank. And it goes from 33... 35. That's so not worth it. See, those bonuses in the olden days used to be huge, but now when you get towards partial mobile or even more economy, they start to fall off massively. They're not as strong as they used to be. 5% consumer goods used to be massive, and now it all depends on, well, which one am I on? What economy? If I was on civilian economy, it'd be pretty big. Early mobilization too, but then partially it falls off, and then war economy it falls off. I realize we've got an extra navy too that I've not taken from Uruguay. I can add that into the repair queue. We're getting a hefty amount of naval XP. I think they did nerf how much naval XP you get, but once again, I've stacked so many modifiers. It doesn't even matter. All right, rewarding party loyalty, army loyalty. It's an interesting one. This one, it gives extra building slots. That's really interesting. This one gives civvies. 5% consumer goods is basically nothing now. But I suppose the focus tree's got so many ones you can stack. And this one gives 10% construction for Novo. Doesn't give any construction to begin with. Interesting. So many interesting options. All right, do we secure our borders? To 70-day focus. I'm weighing on my options here because at the moment I don't really feel like any of these are really essential focuses to go for. I'm even tempted to lean towards more of the army bonuses, to be honest with you. I suppose the option could open up to try and attack a communist or a fascist nation in South America. But then we're going to need a division for that, and we don't even have amphibious. Suppose at this point I should be focusing a little bit more on mech. We're going to become the biggest rubber producer in the Western Hemisphere. When the war does kick off too, the Axis are going to have a massive demand for rubber, and that's going to hugely boost my economy. Oh, look how quick this is building. This is insane. So one thing to do is look for regions that have lots of resources. Build the infrastructure and just see how much you would gain gaining +3 oil. It's not big. I'm basically holding shift and right clicking and just seeing what I would gain. There's really no other regions other than the ones we've already developed that we're going to really gain much, so it's kind of pointless. Getting that rubber in Rio though is just huge. At the same time now we're maxing infrastructure, so these regions now can have civvies, because remember they're going to have max infrastructure, so I have a construction bonus on top of that. So it's all going to be worth it in the end. Alright, no, I've just realized what I do need. I do need that extra research slot, so let's get that done now. Then we can progress into amphibious tanks, amphibious mech, and then keep our industry going as well. And then we have World War II. Here it is, lads. Let's hope nothing goes wrong. Hope we have a nice, smooth game. How could we play it a little bit differently, though? You think maybe we should participate more in the Pacific game, maybe? Deny the Japanese from land? Do you know what? That actually sounds so fun. Yeah, I think we're going to do that instead. But then Japan's navy's so fat. And we're not going to be able to contest them. Maybe we should start making some destroyers. I think we're going to have to go for something like this. Yeah, let's make a few of these. Add that onto the fleet. We've got 200 convoys right now. We don't need any more, so we'll just make a little extra bits of fleet. Just a tiny little bit more to get the fleet going. And I think we'll make some naval dockyards too. This is an issue because now we're diversifying our economy some more, so we're going to need more research slots to progress from here. It just creates more problems. I guess what we could do is get a next destroyer, and then we need the amphibious tank chassis. It's another research slot, so now we've got 4. And that gives us a little bit more flexibility. The light battery. So the best way of making destroyers is to try and stack as much light attack on them as possible, but I need to keep them a little bit more flexible, and to do that, that's the reason why I've gone for torpedoes too. Put that on auto upgrade. I'm concerned that we're building actually too many mills, so what I might do is build infrastructure here, and then... Sorry, I may have said that wrong. Outtake, outtake, outtake. I'm a little bit concerned now. We're making too many civvies, so I want to maybe make a bit more military production. Yeah, going for the naval dockyards here. This gives us a really girthy naval economy. Take a shot every time Dave says economy. And then we can pump out destroyers. Just realized we've got 2 million manpower in the pool as well. It's such a shame that on the international market you can't actually buy a navy. That really sucks. Because that's something I could desperately need right now. The option to commission a ship. That would be so cool. Anyway, the good neighbor policy. 35-day focus. And that is your diplomatic path for South America, which has some spicy options to annex South American countries. And I think it's not quite working the way it should. It's famous last words of every one of my videos. Like, I don't think this mechanic is working the way it should. I think it might be a little bit broken. All right, so this is the armor division we've got. And I think this is a good starting template. Yeah, I think this is good. I realize we've made way too much artillery. Yeah. We need armored trains as well. God, there's so much we need. With this, we can increase military spending, and for 1 year, reduces consumer goods by 15%. All right, let's do it. All right, max naval XP. You know what we do now, right? Special Forces, Marines. Pioneers, Amphibious. Yes. Ruling Training Regiment. Yes. And then we have the option now either to focus on Mixed Armed Forces or Marine Commandos, which allows us to gain breakthrough on Amtracs. Yeah, I'll do the left path. There we go. Maxed out our Special Forces. We've not even gone to war yet. Not a single shot has been fired. I love this game. We'll go for Fleet and Being. Sure. So what I've done here is put my ships on auto upgrade. So it's upgraded the primary battery here. And now, when we produce these boyos, we'll auto upgrade them when the technology finishes. What I'm going to do now is, because this one's out of date, we'll finish making this one. And then when this is done, it'll then assign all these naval deck yards to the next one below it. So we focus on Navy a little bit. Just realized we've got this one as well. Oh, dockyard output minus 15%. Ooh, we should probably fix that. Yeah, that's actually a biggie. How do we fix that? Okay, so I'm gonna have a little bit of read right now. God, that's another refitting and repair speed, 25%. Amount of repair speed you can stack. Wow. So what you're gonna do is hover over this one, Legacy of the Naval Arms Race. So Naval Arms Race. And to get rid of it, you just got to progress down the path. Yeah. It's sad because if Chile or Argentina go for this first, it gets rid of it for me as well. Let's do it then. So this one gives Naval Command Spirit cost. Nah, go for the construction and then work down to the focus we need. All right, mech's done. We're going to go for Armored Mech, Amphibious Mech. Gonna work on torpedoes. Then I'm going to work on the better battery for the destroyers too. There's an upgrade available. I don't know what it was. We'll just presume it's something better. We'll just make that one extra one and continue on. Okay, an upgrade for the Mayo. And have a look what options we've got. And I don't usually check these very often. Usually there's a production bonus near the bottom normally. Yeah, there you go, 5%. So 5% you need requires one of the following. So I go light attack. There we go. Then we're stacking light attack because that's what the destroyers are all about. Plus we're getting a production bonus too. So that's a win-win-win situation. Also a Mayo upgrade here. Take advantage of it. Upgrade. With ships, I feel like there's just so many options to upgrade. It feels like quite intense sometimes. Oh, look at the Legacy of the Naval Arms Race. Oh, wow. So the problem now is... that sucks so bad. Okay. So the problem now is when you assign your construction into something that you're suffering from a massive penalty for, you're not getting the best possible gains. It's kind of a bit of a waste of time. So what I'm actually going to do just for now is just assign some mills to the very top of this. That's really bad. Yeah, we'll just do that for the time being. Because it's just not good bang for my buck, really. I'm not going to do that. Anyway, next up we'll go for a turret. What I could probably do is add an extra turret on it. I always forget about that. The only issue is when you add on extra turrets, so you're getting light attack, but you're not really improving the base amount of HP it's got. So it kind of feels counterproductive. End of the day, if an expensive ship sinks, you kind of better having numbers when it comes to destroyers over having ones that are pure stats. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick to the cheaper model. Amphibious Tank is done. We'll just rush the amphibious drive. Yep. All right, we've got political power. So radio propaganda. We could go for naval air defense. I don't sure if infantry expert's going to benefit me. It probably won't. And then air bonuses are pointless. And then we'll go for the ground support guy. And then we invest in all the states in my country because we've got so much political power. We don't know what to do with it. Invest in the Amazonas to gain an extra building slot. All right, 35-day focus. Unlocks decisions to purchase old ships from great powers. That sounds awesome, actually. Yeah, we need to get a big navy. All right, we're low on steel. There's the first time that's ever happened. It's because we're producing so many destroyers. The economy is booming. Purchase destroyers and submarines. Improved torpedo launcher. Feeling difficult to keep up right now. Make a new row of destroyers. Say that these are the only ones. Import more steel. Improve the torpedoes again. No, I think we're good on torpedoes now. Once again, I don't want to add too much production cost to the ship. I guess I could go for the third destroyer. Yeah, let's do it. Once again, the chassis for the destroyer are really important because once again, it gives more HP and they can fight longer. So therefore, it's worth the production cost. I'm finding it difficult to explain this. You know what I mean? It's like you can make an expensive destroyer, but it's still as fragile as one that's very, very cheap. Does that make sense? Because it's all about the HP. Well, like light cruisers are a bit different because you can put armor on them, so the HP can be more worth the value. Anyway, let's fix the arms race BS. 1940. Let's think about where we expand from here. So we want to make a light tank. We're still waiting for the amphibious drive. So I think we hold back on that, and we still not got the amphibious there either. I just realized that's called a basic amphibious tractor. We're actually making a tractor. Yeah, I think I'm just going to hold back on production of everything until I've got the tech for it. Because otherwise I'm going to have to keep switching out my production lines. It's not going to be worth it, so I'm not going to bother. At the same time, I said I needed armored trains because I've not gone for any air, so I need a way of defending my air. All right, the arms race BS is done now. So now we don't got that big penalty for construction. Any good bonuses down here? Let's have a quick look. Option to purchase dreadnoughts and other older capital ships from great powers. That's interesting. One thing we've never fixed since the start of the game is this. Undiversified economy. You could start cracking into that by going for this one and then working down this right path. Yeah, let's do that now. Massive injection of steel. I'm going to import more than I actually need because I'm about to finish some naval dockyards and I want those to go directly into production of more destroyers. Doctrines. Yep. We're exercising our fleet to get more naval XP, so we're definitely going to invest those into those doctrines. All the stuff that's about destroyers. Purchase destroyers from Britain, U-boats from Germany, or American destroyers. And to do that, I need good relations. So let's do that. Running out building slots pretty quickly. I have to start building inside of Uruguay. Oh, this is another cool one too. Promote immigration to South America, and it gives local manpower bonus, and I think it gives infrastructure construction speed too. It's a bit late for that now, but it's a nice bit of flavor for state modifiers, that's all. I know this is a bit boring so far, guys, because it's just kind of a build tall thing. It's kind of what you happen when you play a historical South American nation, because their contribution was more limited until later parts of the war, so kind of just sitting on my hands for the time being. Anyway, let's go for down this path and get the bonus for attack for our troops overall. Just kind of waiting for research at the moment. Shock and awe, forward observers, advanced fire bases. We've almost completed a land doctrine and we've not shot a single bullet yet. I think that's kind of funny, no? Am I the only one who think that's a little bit funny? No? Anyway, purchase destroyers from Britain. Do it from America. For some reason I can't get good relations with America. Oh, I've triggered the arms race. What? And that's upset America. Okay. Oh, I can do it now. Oh, just have just enough relations. It's almost like the paradox of aware of, like, they just give you just the minimum amount of relations so you can actually do it. Maybe I should get U-boats from Germany, just so I've got more ships overall and more naval projection. The United Kingdom has agreed to the naval procurement, gaining you 5, 6, 7 destroyers. 6. I can't count. These are all models, though. The United States has given us a bunch of class something or other ships. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again. 6 destroyers. You know, I'm not going to complain because I'm adding more to my navy overall, and that's what I need to do, because fighting the Japanese is going to be hard just to get enough naval supremacy. Neglected the whole game. We need to start focusing on the bread and butter now, just the raw soft attack passive bonuses, because we're going to be so far behind when we actually do join a real war. Purchase U-boats from Germany. Germany refuses our naval procurement deal. These mechanics break my gears. So I've gone through all the fuss of boosting relations, paying my political power just for them to say no, and then for me to ask them again. I don't know. I think the problem is when those RNG events exist in Hoi 4 and you have no control over them as the player, they're just frustrating. They just get under your skin. And I don't know. I think it's a really bad mechanic. That's just my take anyway. That's my take. Meanwhile, trouble in the Balkans. Will Greece fall though? They always get stuck right here. The AI should learn to build ports here, keep the supply going, but they always get right stuck just before Athens. The basic amphibious tractor is complete. We can actually start doing some proper production now. Let's go. All right. We need mills badly. We need mills so badly. Yeah, mills so badly. We need our economy to wake up now. Brazil, wake up. So amphibious tractors are being spat out now. We just need to wait for the amphibious drive, 14 days. We need logistics companies because we're going to have supply problems. The amphibious drive is done, so we can now make light tanks, improve lights. And first thing we do is slap on the amphibious drive. Let's do something a bit different. Let's go for a fixed superstructure. We'll go for an autocannon, but later on we can add maybe a howitzer onto it. And then top that off as well. Heavy cannon and machine guns. Riveted, and we're not really fussed about speed. Then we have to specifically say it's an amphibious. Ah, look at this. This is nice. Decent speed too. We can always improve the speed in future. And once again, we're just going to start kicking out and producing these boys. As many as we can. We're going to have loads of steel problems now, but it is what it is. Yeah, import steel. We're just importing a lot of steel from America now. Improving, I don't know what that says, but it's improving something. Giving extra defense and organization and an armor attack. Okay, we'll take both of those. Okay, we don't need this guy anymore. Oh, no, we do. He gives recruitable pop, so we can never get rid of this guy. But we can get rid of this guy because he's gaining us political power. Yeah, and we'll replace him with the war industrialist. All right, so they finally give us the submarines after we asked for them a million times. And they've given us a total amount, 10 U-boats. I like these mechanics because, once again, building a navy in Hoi 4 is kind of difficult if you're a minor power. So it's nice that they give you a little bit of a leg up to gain some ships. Listen, these ships do not have combat capabilities. They're going to suck at combat. But they project naval suppression. So therefore, we can do naval invasions and deny them naval invasions. All right, we actually have a medium tank designer now. I don't know where we gained that from. Maybe we gained that from the focuses. And it's not really helpful to me because it's all medium tanks. Can I even assign that on to the light tank that I've got? No. Let's make the squad. So, light tanks. I think they have to be specifically amphibious light tanks. Yeah, but they don't cost too much to replace. So we can... Oh, hang on. Amphibious light battalion. Oh, okay. They're different. I don't make amphibious very often, guys, as you're probably noticing. Amphibious light. Then we need to replace these with AMMEC battalions. Yep. And then we do another row of those. We're about to run out of XP. Yep. So we're going to have to settle for this for the time being. We can only make 2 of them because they're classed as special forces. Oh, I always forget that. They're classed as special forces. This is going to make things really interesting. Anyway, option here. Increase conscription. No, that's not going to work for us. Or increase army professionalism. Unlocks Marines too. Increases the modifier for special forces by 15%. We're going to need that. So what I'm going to do at the same time is I'm going to create a big division for horses and then make a bunch of horse divisions just to artificially make my army size larger so I can have a greater number of special forces. It's a classic trick. We'll work on logistics too. I think we'll stick with this to the time being and then we'll expand on it as we go. Some of these bonuses you get from improving your armed forces are just amazing. Extra org. That's amazing. This one is superior firepower from France. Okay. America, are you at war? No. Japan has not attacked the Philippines yet. And that will be when we'll get involved. Right, so if Japan is the target, we need our eyes on Japan, don't we? We'll double stack spies because it builds a network faster. However, you don't get the regional benefits as you normally would. There we go. And Japan is declared on the Philippines. And that means America's joined the war. And that means we can now progress towards this focus. The Washington Accords gives 10% construction speed for 3 years. Some of these bonuses are insane. I like them a lot. Okay, we don't need to keep exercising our fleet now. We'll send it all back to repair. Start banking a little bit more fuel. Start working on all the basic guns and bonuses. Once again, we're running out of places to build. Tall Brazil has insane production power. But the downside is you run out of building slots so fast. So I guess we could build infrastructure in our new capital. And then on the back of that, make mills. Right, Washington Accords has happened. The River Conference. Brazil will join the same faction as the United States. And it will also cause you to declare war on America's enemies. Brazil's declared war on Japan. The United States expects military commitment. After 2 years, we have to be at war. Or they will seek to punish us. We fail to join the war. The mechanic kind of feels a bit strange because you've kind of already committed to siding with America when you've collected this focus. So it kind of feels strange that the game's almost like pushing you like, well, no, you have to join the war now. And I'm like, I've never been more prepared than I've ever been. Right now, I am maxed out on how prepared I am. All right, pioneers definitely for the win, and logistics. Yes, the only issue with this is probably a lack of soft attack and probably breakthrough too. We'll work it out. All right, we're now at war. Stability's dropped a little bit. We're committed to the war. Get some war bonds. Worker conditions. Do we total mob it? Yeah, why not? And then we'll go extensive. And now we've got a huge economy. Soviet Union would like to join their faction. Are we already in the Allies? Okay, that might have bugged. I should be in the Allies right now, but I am at war with all the members of the enemies of the Axis. It may have glitched. We may have experienced our first glitch. Switch this guy for the elusive gentleman. I think he's got a different name for Brazil. There you go. It's called the head of the political police. Oh, it increases intel strength factor by 20%. That's really good. And then I can also become a spy master when I join the Allies. I can't believe they're asking me to join the... Okay, asked to join the Allies. Yeah, there we go. Then we become the spy master. And then here comes the spies. All right, where do we go from here? Exchange technology. Yes. All right, so we're going to have 5 divisions when they're trained. United States supports technology exchange. They want some amphibious tech, don't they? Okay, I'm going to turn off auto upgrade now because it's actually starting to get a little bit annoying. And then we've got extra spies, so we can assign those in. Spread them out because we've got so many we can spread them. All right, let's bring the Navy over and start, I guess, defending the islands or maybe defending the Philippines. Maxed out our doctrines. Once again, not a single shot's been fired yet. Start working on the more advanced light tanks. We'll set the light tank onto auto upgrade 2. At the same time, I think what we'll try and do to begin with is defend the Philippines and deploy those divisions here. We'll defend the Philippines to begin with. I want a general who's fresh and it isn't a part of the officer corps. Someone who's super fresh. Probably a jungle guy would be great. Oh, he's skill 4 though. That's not what I want. Oh, this guy's good. He's a field marshal. At the same time, I'll assign him with this guy. No, this guy's got attack, 4 attack. And then you guys will be in that different theater. Low prioritize, high prioritize here. So that means equipment will go here before it goes anywhere else. Then at the same time, I'm going to bring my boys over. What do I want to do first? There's something cheeky about me that wants to do a naval invasion. Go from here and land into Vietnam. The Brazilians in Vietnam in World War II. The most historical game. Need a little bit of fuel, a massive injection of it. Fleets on their way. I'm going to put you guys on naval invasion support. Which just means that when a naval invasion happens, they'll get into position. The only concern I've got right now is I don't have enough AA on the division. So I feel like I might run into issues that if air superiority hits me, I might slow down massively. We'll see how it goes. All right. The United States of South America. Your country will now be renamed from Brazil to the South American Empire. Unlocks the decisions to allow you to invite democratic or non-aligned faction members into South America to merge with Brazil. You are diplomatically annexing South America. Okay, I'll admit this isn't historical at all, but I just like it because it's fun. I think what we'll do is add on motorized anti-air. And this is going to give us a juicy 30 extra anti-air. Yeah, I think that's going to be the way forward. Our economy right now is small in comparison. Why? Because we're importing so much steel. I think what might have happened is we're just importing way too much steel for the destroyer production. But I don't know how well we're going to fare when it comes down to our navy. I don't know how well we're going to fare. I mean, I feel confident because we've got quite a lot of destroyer 3s. Yeah, quite a lot, but you just never know. I just realized all my spies are women. Every single one of them. Maxed out seducer trait. Here we go. We have been renamed South American Empire. And are there any allies in South America? No. Well, apart from the ones that are their capitals are based outside anyway. We don't have any options right now, but we might later on. We'll see. As far as I'm aware, I don't think it's possible to get enough relations to make them join. I don't know how it works, actually. We'll just play the game and just see how it goes. But I have some funny things I can show you later on anyway. Oh, this is interesting. This bottom one adds amphibious tank as technology and landing craft. Oh, I had the ability to rush this all along and get it for free. That's insane. But getting landing craft for free is really good too. Let's do that. Well, that's the strat, boys. That is the strat. Looks like the Japanese are doing really well and taking the Philippines. It looked like at first they weren't going to break the north, but it looks like they've taken the capital, so it's not looking too good now. But I'm going to recapture territory in the Pacific because I want to do something a bit different, and I'm going really excited about the idea of doing something different as well. So we've got more building slots because dispersed force finished. So we're going to build in the areas with high infrastructure first. To be fair, there are not that many of those. We'll just queue them up for now. We'll hire another woman. That's right. All women. This is going to be Charlie's Angels. Feedback's Angels. So just before we do the naval invasion, we'll exercise just a tiny little bit. However, the supply here is not very good. What we've got the option to do now is if we go for an amphibious tank, we can put on the fixed superstructure and have the big gun. So this is going to add lots of soft attacks. Amphibious. There's a bug here. Sometimes you have to scroll up to select amphibious. And it allows us now to have a bigger gun that's bigger than the chassis because we've got a fixed superstructure. It's one of the advantages of having a fixed infrastructure. It allows you to go for the one bigger armament that you're able to do. What light tanks could normally have smalls, but now you can have one medium. And because it's amphibious, it's not classed as an SPG. It's classed as amphibious. It's where in Hawaii the mechanics kind of go a bit strange in my humble opinion. All right, this is an expensive tank. We've got sloped armor now, big gun, cast armor. Design is too expensive. Yep, that's the boy. Big, small boy. And look at the resource cost for this. And that is the entirety of my economy. Yeah, so I think what we're going to have to do is cut down on our destroyer production now. And all excess naval dockyards will go onto convoys because they're not going to cost as many. Yeah, it's less overall steel usage, so therefore I don't have to import as much from America. Perfect. Top that off as well, I could start focusing on more future excavation as well. And that'll give more steel from Rio. And we will take advantage of that later on. Anyway, I think it's naval invasion time. We'll wait for the org to come back up after exercising. And then off we go. Can't because we don't have enough naval supremacy. It requires 50%. Crap. I guess we might have to just wait. 38%. That sucks. And probably getting to the Philippines is going to be an issue too. This is always a problem you're going to run into. Oh, our convoys are getting raided. Or we don't get in steel from America anymore. We'll get it from the UK. Oh, that's fine. The United States would like to send us a single convoy. Thank you. The options here would be to make some navs. I guess I could buy those off the market. Interwar naval bombers, 30 of them. They're so expensive. 30 old planes. 5 from, is that New Zealand or Australia? Australia. Yeah, Australia. Because I need to start striking this region. Is it this sea zone? No, it's this one. So what I can do is avoid this region and just do my naval invasion here. That's it. That's the meme. And it will take 25 days for that. So I'll exercise up to that. So what I did here is I waited for them to exercise to level 3 to remove the green penalty, which is minus 25% attack. Then I'm just going to wait for them to move and attack. And now's the time to do it. Okay, 43% naval supremacy in the Gulf of Thailand. So it looks like the Allied fleets moved out of this region. We had loads of naval supremacy before. Now we have none. I wonder if I can increase that now by changing to strike force, maybe? Is that giving me any more? 43% still. That really sucks. Okay, one of my spies got captured. Classic ping pong of spies. Send one off to be saved. I tend to think the only solution we've got at the moment is I'll invest into planes. Plane, and then torpedo. And then I have to research the engine. Investing into planes now is not a small feat. You have to get so many bits. Because what I'm just going to do is make some naval bombers and strike this ocean and just see how much damage I can do. Because that usually gives you a little bit of an edge for naval supremacy. What normally happens is you'll drop one torpedo, you'll get lucky and hit a capital ship, and the whole capital ship fleet will move out to repair, and then you'll do your naval invasion. And that seems to be like a reoccurring theme that works quite well. Ooh, meanwhile, the Japanese have landed in Sumatra. Okay, did we abandon this? Yeah, I think we've got it. We've got to abandon it. Okay, we've got bigger fish to fry. Let's move here. And then we're going to start convoy escorting in this region. Otherwise, we're going to find ourselves losing our own convoys. And there comes the Japanese fleet. Oh, and they've got so many ships. Do I choose to engage? Oh, they're already running away anyway. Shit. That means I'm going to lose a bunch of destroyers. Lost 21 destroyers. Ouch. That's something I can't afford to lose too. Seems to be a bug here. They seem to be stuck. Come on, amphibious invasion. Come on. The tanks are amphibious. They can be able to get over the ocean themselves. Oh, it's a submarine that's stuck. And you can get over? Yes. All worth it in the end. And then my capital ship's been sunk. 47 most destroyers are gone. The typical problem in Hoi 4, you know, when you want to build up a navy. It's like competing with the big boys is so difficult. All right, we've got our decent divisions here, and I'm going to take advantage of this. I think what I'd like to do is probably make these divisions a little bit bigger by adding some artillery onto them. Probably need some more civilian factories now as well. We're just going to coat the entirety of Brazil in civilian factories now. The supply is a nightmare. Oh no. Okay, how lucky can we get? Maybe we can try and get around the back here. Oh, they actually do decent damage. Oh, no, no. Oh, maybe? No? Maybe we're going to get one? Oh, okay. All right. Maybe I'm impressed by this. So we'll basically just micro in the tank here to just see as much damage as we can do. And by the looks of things, so far, so good. I'm going 5-speed quite a lot. Please forgive me. We are trying to prioritize supply, and I'm building ports to try and get the supply up. So you move forward here. You're going to go around the back. You're going to go around the back. Fairly big divisions too, so it is a little bit tricky with the supply being so high per division to kind of be able to do these style maneuvers. I can't believe... No, okay, this division is way too big. Way too big. America would like to send us Lend-Lease support equipment. Oh, we don't have any support equipment? Oh, shoot. It's not been making it the entire game, so I've just completely fallen out of my head. I've forgotten about it. Okay, the supply is going to get a little bit better here now. We need aircraft construction, and we also need range improvements. And then the ports are almost built. Got ports yet? One of them is complete. However, it's probably getting convoy rated anyway. And there's that enough firepower to break this mountain? It is. That's good. And then I can go here now and lock these guys in. I'm just trying to make little encirclements because I can see gaps in the front line. If I don't have to fight, I'm not going to fight. So I'm just going to go around the back, make encirclements, and then encircle these Japanese divisions. Feels really strange not fighting in Europe, in Hoi. It feels so strange. Oh, he's retreated immediately because he's been deorged. But we might be able to close his pocket. No, we got one division though, so I should be thankful for that. Be thankful for the little victories, okay? Okay, there's a port here. Let's hopefully... I was about to say hopefully they don't leave any divisions here, but we have instantly deorged one that moved into here. Maybe we just focus on the right flank. This is a good point, actually. The encirclements are kind of secondary. What I should be primarily focused on is grabbing the ports. And now we've grabbed a successful port. We should have attack potential now. Oh, they're actually locked in now. There's no supply here, so we can just go aggressive and activate the battle plan. So I'm just going to go around the back of you, 5-speed it. Yeah, and then that Manchukuo division and that Japanese division. We've got them locked in. That's good. First, denial of the Japanese invasion into Indonesia. A lot to say now. I don't have to micro this either. Move everyone forward piece by piece and retake all this land. Have they landed here? Yeah, they have, right all the way along. And the beauty is this is amphibious division. So cracking these little dotted lines here, these straits, is usually difficult, but not for this division right now. This should be an absolute reason. We're actually attacking over rivers too. And it's not even... Oh, look, we're getting an attack bonus attacking over a river. We're so confident with our river attack. When we attack over it, we get a bonus. Not a penalty, but a bonus. Okay, make sure we grab that one little bit of island there, and then everyone else move over here, and we'll be able to attack over these straits. Relative ease. All right, they're here. I think I'm just going to right-click all the way to the end of the island, and I think we should break them easy. Oh, that was so easy. That was effortless. We were moving so fast over the straits. We overrun them. This guy's leveled up too. He's level 2 now. Ideally, what I want him to do is... Oh, what would it even apply to? This is where it gets confusing in Hoi. So is an amphibious tank technically a tank? And is a mechanized amphibious mechanized? Is that classed as mechanized? I don't even know. But he's gaining XP for armor though. But that tells me something. All right, there we go. The southern archipelago is liberated. However, there's problems happening here. There's also problems happening here too. I think the next part of the plan will be to move on to this range and try and push them back here. Once again, prioritizing the ports is really important. And don't you just love spies in Hoi having to do this ping-ponging? When you want to focus on your battles and winning wars and you have to deal with rescuing spies, isn't that fun? Isn't that a fun mechanic? Yeah? Okay, the women in the workforce there, and I also went for the propaganda thing to gain war support. I don't need it, but I might need it later on, so just get it now. Okay, this is the plan. Move over. Ooh, it actually says... I never even noticed that. But when you right-click on a port, it says the chance of being intercepted. Transporting on this particular route has a 99% chance of being detected and intercepted. Well, what do you know? I never knew that. So what if I was to go to this one? The port that's in this region. It doesn't even give a pop-up. So the Japanese are operating heavily here, but not heavily here. Ah. Oh, and the Japanese have landed again here. So it just shows they have full control of this region. There's going to be a bit of ping-ponging back and forth until the Japanese troops are a little bit weaker than normal. What we're going to do is push here and just grab that port. And when that port's been taken, they have no more supply, so they'll get broken. Here's a little trick. So we're going to make a front line here with Z. Tell them to attack here. Then I'm going to do staff office plan to build up the planning bonus. And gain 36 planning bonus in total. Wait a few days. And there we go. Now we're attacking over river with an attack bonus. And with max planning as well. So we're just going to, hopefully, if we let the AI take care of this, we might just swing all the way around the back. Something cool has happened. Okay, so don't ask me why this happens. It's something to do with the new expansion. But Chile has joined the Allies. It's something to do with them declaring war on Japan. Maybe this is historical. I don't know. But look what's happened here. Proposed to Chile to become part of the South American Empire. And all I have to do is improve relations. And I can Diplo annex them for free because we share the same faction because we're both in the Allies. Nice. Okay, breaking this final bit is a bit of a struggle. The supply is just so bad. Classic Hoi problems, right? And I think we've just gotten it. Just from bashing our head against it over and over and over again, we eventually got them. And then we can close the west flank and then the east flank. Just for some reason, this is bugged out. The icon's not right. See, the icon is this amphibious symbol, but they're appearing as infantry and a pawn. We'll change it to a shark. Has that fixed it? That has actually fixed it. Okay. And there we go. Japanese pushed into the ocean once again. Okay, this island is liberated, and they managed to take care of the southern island as well. Now, if you press F2 and go into your naval map mode, what you can do is hover over naval regions and see how much naval supremacy the Allies have in these regions. And it's next to nothing. What's happening here is the Allies are focusing everything into Europe. And you tend to find there aren't that many ships operating here. Japan's got free reign until Germany's navy is basically decimated. So I've got a question now. Where do I go? This is probably the weakest part. 69 to 106 ships. So if I was to do a naval invasion here, from here to, let's say, here. Oh, it's 2 sea zones, though. So I'd have to technically land here, but that's risky, because if I can't grab a port, I'm going to be in a really bad way. Let's move our fleet over and just see what we can do. We lost our only... We had 2 capital ships, and one of them got sunk, and the other one was in a really bad way, too. This is probably now more than ever, we need the destroyers, but our industry is getting squeezed on the steel. So if I was to do naval invasion support here... We have 6% needed to do the naval invasion. So that is just not doable. It's just not doable. Alternatively, I could try and move here, but 100% chance to get intercepted. I suppose what I could do is build a port, maybe here, and another port here, and move them over. This is like cheeky tactics, this. This is really wonky tactics. So I'm basically building ports for Australia. All right, here we go. Propose an integration of Chile into the South American Empire. Only costs 50 political power, only takes 30 days, and you completely fully annex them. Seems to be a reoccurring theme, this, with new Hoi expansions. I feel like there's like the most OP stuff possible getting slid into expansions. It's like the new thing. This is the plan. We're going to move from this island from here all the way to Darwin right here. Then we build a port here, and then a port here. Then we slide our boys into this region, and then basically push the Japanese out of this island. I forget what this island's called. Remove me being stupid. All right, so let's take this glitch to a whole new level. What you do now is you create a single cavalry division. Single one. This is like the ultimate abuse of this mechanic, by the way. If you don't like the dirty, this is the ultimate dirty. So you're about to see the dirtiest of the dirtiest. You basically make 100 of these divisions, maybe even more. Okay, 100 is the max. We've run out of equipment now. Then we're going to train these divisions. 3, 2, 1... The unification of Chile, the chilliest of them all. And yeah, you don't get cores on them, but you do occupy it completely. It's just so weird. Anyway, back to what we were doing. We're deploying these divisions. We're just waiting for them to train. Oh my goodness, we've gained loads of resources from Chile as well. They've got loads of tungsten and chromium. Oh, that's really good. I suppose now we can start building... Can we build infrastructure in them? That's probably not that worth it. But the resources we've gained there are really, really OP. Japan's declared war on Siam? Am I reading that wrong? Oh no, the Allies have declared on Siam. Okay, they're pushing into Indochina now. Oh, they've landed here again. So what I'm going to do is, 84% chance to get intercepted. Yeah, I don't want to do that. Ooh, are we stuck on this island now? I think we might be. Ooh, and we've gained their navy as well. And Chile has a big navy. That is so good for us. It's another advantage of integrating. Oh, that's so good. All right, we can make a decent naval bomber here, I think. So it's going to have a torpedo. It needs to have floats for surface detection and then drop tanks for range. It doesn't have enough weight, so I have to wait for the more upgraded engine, which is coming soon anyway. Anyway, yeah, we're deploying these guys. Deploy. Then we convert all of these to the big horse division, the massive one. I told you to look away, actually, because this is going to be very dirty. And that because we've made our army massive, we can train loads of these. Oh my god, how many? 30. We don't need 30. We'll train another 17, we'll say. And then we convert them all back to the small one. And I think this should work now. Oh, have I selected the wrong? I did. I selected the wrong one. Dave, come on. Come on. There we go to the back to the big one. Big one. There we go. Then we train 17 of these. There we go. We're on the right track now. 12 more, shall we say? Yeah, 12 more. And then we convert them back, right? Also really annoying to get rid of these divisions here. These are the Chile divisions. And now you're at the special forces cap, so it won't let you do it. So we have to permanently hold on to these divisions for the time being and be 3,000 guns behind. Ouch. We can also get the most advanced torpedoes too, and the most advanced engine. Yeah, we just have to train the division and deploy them. And then once we've deployed them, then we can delete all these horse divisions. That's good. Perfect. So what I'll keep doing now is I'm moving my amphibious tanks around, just going to another port. I press B, by the way, to railroad them, otherwise it'd take forever to arrive. And then I just hover over a port and see the chance of getting intercepted 89%. So I can't really move them at the moment because I'm just going to be stuck. And right now I just have to wait. Meanwhile in Europe, classic, they can't break Greece. So the supply situation is too bad. Barbarossa is going relatively well. Meanwhile, no D-Day. So yeah, if I go for these guys and then try and land into here. Oh, that's not even my allied port. Okay. Here, Bangkok, 99% chance. I suppose that's really helpful to know because that is frustrating to have troops intercepted. But right now, I can't get them out of this region due to my navy not being strong enough. I do have a lot of capital ships now, but it's still, they're so old ships, they're not going to be useful. So in the meantime, we are going to have to make a fighter, well, a naval bomber. The big torpedo now, big single engine, drop tanks, floats for detection. And that is actually doable now. We have to put that on auto upgrade because we're going to have to upgrade that design as we go. Once again, it's another excuse in Hawaii. You have to kind of diversify your economy. You can't just keep making the same thing over and over again. Diversify your military production. Is that the right terminology? Anyway, we can deploy our special forces now, which we've glitched. There we go. And now we can delete. Ooh, now we're going to delete all the horses. Now we don't need any more of those horses, so we get all the guns back. Hello there. So you're making another naval invasion? It's unlucky for you. It's where my big, fat tank divisions are stationed, so it should be a quite easy mop-up. Yeah, so easy. Every time they do a naval invasion and they get denied, they're losing more and more of their troops. How much damage have I inflicted on them? So I have inflicted 144,000 losses. South American Empire. That's not too bad. Okay, we have a truck designer now. We got that through a national focus. So what I could do is focus on mechanized. I think mechanized are not even a part of any of this. I could be wrong. Let's find out. So we go for that hardness bonus. The mechanized are not classed as that now, so that was a complete waste of time. Oh well, I tried. So another one of the reasons why I avoid the amphibious mechs and tanks, because they're like a niche variant category that doesn't take advantage of a lot of the extra bonuses you normally get. Built a port here, and what I'm going to do is get one of my new naval bombers and start do naval strikes here. This might have enemy planes, and if that is the case, I'll have to pull them out. I want to be able to bomb here uncontested. Once again, the lack of range is really painful, and the lack of supply is painful too. We just have to take advantage of it. Centralized control for the range, and then the doctrines for aircrew surveys. And the efficiency is 15%. That's pretty awful. Hey, I participated in a battle there. There you go. Maybe I'm having an impact. Maybe there's more of an impact than I originally thought. At the same time, we'll expand a naval base right there. Hey, we hit a submarine. We're having an impact. Very minor one, but we're having an impact. Kind of waiting for the Americans to arrive to put their navies in these regions. You can see them island hopping over the east here, but eventually they have to win a decisive big naval battle, and then they start to project their naval power in this region. So what I'm routinely doing now is moving them to here, checking this sea region, and seeing if there's anywhere I can move. So if I were to move from here to here, the chance of getting intercept is 99%. So that tells me this region, which I press F2, you can see it's got like 14 to 16 ships. That's not even that many. I think what we're going to do now is escort here. Oh, this is so risky. And then move them over. Ooh. So we're moving now. We've got 90% efficiency. Are we going to get intercepted? No, we're looking good. So it's just, it's almost like finding opportunities to try and move your divisions over, because you don't want to ever take the risk of being in a situation where you could get intercepted, because you just lose too much manpower, too much equipment. It's not worth it, and you have to move your divisions all the way over again, so it's just not going to be worth. All right, we take in the islands again. I suppose you could argue right now, why don't you leave divisions behind just to hold the coastline? I guess I'm trying to minimize the amount of micro that I do, because I do find that sometimes the micro gets quite intense. I'm just trying my absolute best to try and minimize most of that as I can, so therefore I don't have to deal with it. And there we go, clearing them out again. And we overrun them. I love it when I overrun. You don't see it happen very often, so when it happens, it's like, ooh, that little drip of dopamine. Feels good, man. Okay, I think I'm going to go limited exports, because I want to see if there are any extra resources I'll take advantage of. So steel was a little bit better. I think that was pretty much it. Having a really hard time with aluminium, which every game the Allies always have issues with aluminium. It's like that resource that dries up in the entire world. Okay, moving into Java Sea. And the reason I'm going here for the Java Sea is this region is almost the center, so I should get a decent amount of mission efficiency. Oh, but lacking fuel. Wherever you go here, it's a struggle because the supply is just so bad. BBI should try and escort here and then also naval strike it. Trying to find that good balance here between asserting my naval dominance and naval dominance, but the lack of, and see if I can catch some enemy fleets and ships. See, look again. Oh, okay. 67% mission efficiency. That's actually pretty decent. It says the airbase is lacking supply. If we build a port here, just trying as much as I can to make a difference. So I'm going to micro up here. I can grab this port again, and then we can push them out of this archipelago region again. Once again, every battle that we get into, we just absolutely dominate them. Every single one. And now, because we're in a position that we've completely won, I'm feel free to battle plan. Once again, I want to prioritize the attacks initially on the port, so at that point, I just want to play cleanup duty. Argentina has joined the Allies. Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means? And improve relations. Welcome to the South American Empire. It's amazing that too, because Argentina's got lots of oil. Oh, so much oil. And I need that so badly right now. It's actually one of my #1 resources. If I want to maintain my dominance here, that's what I need the most of. Oh, no. Oh, no way. So I've got them on always engage, and they're winning. Ooh, is this worth fighting out? No, I think I'm losing now. Getting through the screens, that 90% screen efficiency, and we can start hitting the capitals, but we're losing so many destroyers. Ah, bollocks. It was worth a try. It was worth a try. And there you go. That's probably the very last I'm going to get out of that navy now. That navy's done. That navy is done. I guess if on hindsight, if I could go back in a time machine, I'd probably try and make some more capital ships early on, I suppose. But you've got to get rid of that bad national spirit. So it's difficult to diversify your military economy. I guess I made the most of what I had. All right, we're going to annex Argentina because it's just that easy. A single button press. Don't forget about your doctrines either. There you go, maxed out. Ouch. 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 I know a lot of you guys get a little bit sensitive, and I'll be honest with you, I'm going to sugarcoat this. You guys get a little bit sensitive when I show fails on my channel, okay? I'm not here to just give you L's, okay? We're not going to get a 10-minute montage of me winning, okay? We're going to show the downs, the ups. We're going to show the roller coaster, okay? It's going to be a rocky montage of me working out to be the best before we dominate the enemy, okay? It's not just going to be a straight-up win. And plus, I actually kind of like the challenge as well. It's kind of fun not to always have it go your way. Argentina has accepted the unification. Argentina is now part of Brazil. I'm going to delete the entirety of their army and take advantage of all their fuel. We've got loads of steel now. We have a decent economy now. A super decent economy. The only issue we're probably going to run into is garrisons, because I put them on civilian economy to try and build compliance and take advantage of the resources. I guess what I could do is maybe try and reduce resistance. Something I never think to do. Okay, naval mission efficiency. So we're going to go for that one. We are primarily focusing on... Oh, our navy's back. I just realized our navy's back because we just stole Argentine fleet. So we actually have a decent navy now. We've upgraded our plane as well. We've got an extra slot. So what we're going to do now is put extra fuel tanks on it. And once again, range is big when it comes down to controlling these sea regions. So I think we're in a good spot now. Ah, we have full control of the sea region now. Unfortunately, the Japanese are back again. I realize there's more advanced Amtrak as well. Forgotten about that. All right, these boys are back. Chance to get intercepted is 99%. So I'm going to put these guys on convoy rating. Well, escort. The opposite of convoy rating. Convoy escort. And they arrive. It says it 99% chance. I have beaten the odds. And then take that port again. Again! Building up a navy here. Not by building one. By stealing it from South American countries. I wasn't going to spend forever with 5. Whoa! I wasn't going to spend forever with 5 convoys, was I? 5 divisions. I'm going to bring all the other boys now. Well, a few of those got intercepted. Oh well. There we go. 16 amphibious tank divisions. All right, so this is something new. They've reworked this. So fleet protector now. I can go for destroyer leader, which technically that's what I am. And also extra detection and attack for destroyers. Spotting speed is good. Okay, and then he's also now become this guy. So we can replace him with the screen expert because he became an officer corps. Something that never was really possible in the olden days. Because getting those destroyer traits were like next to impossible to do. So fighting in the middle of this region is hard work because the supply is just absolute rubbish. So we need to grab a port again. So we're pushing further forward here, but supply is so bad. We're not even going to have any attack potential. Slow and steady wins the race. Well, also I'm building lots and lots of ports. Again! The strategy here is just to make pushes, retreat back, and just kind of rinse and repeat until you get into a situation where you've got enough attack potential and the supply is good enough to go. And then it's just that over and over again. I'll be fair, it's not actually quite a fun thing to do. One of the reasons why I don't really fight that much in the Pacific, because I think these regions are better off just defending with a strong navy and just denying naval invasions full stop. One thing I could have done ahead of time that would have been useful would have been screen attack and penetration, just to the fact that I've gone for a navy destroyer fleet. I suppose efficient communications would have been good too. Okay, we're gonna have to delete a few of these divisions because we're so far behind on mechanized. We need to just produce so much mechanized to catch up. This will take us over 100 days, so it's gonna take a while to catch up. Probably don't need that many naval bombers now too. We definitely have control of these sea regions now, so we're in a position now we're actually projecting some naval power, which is good. Okay, we're in a position to take back the Philippines now. That is the question. Move you guys over, build up that air base. We might have to start bombing the South China Sea first. The range on that is just massive. Yeah, some of the sea regions are just so unbelievably huge. It's like impossible to get across them. Meanwhile, China has kicked out Japan, which is good. I think we probably should be thinking about a naval invasion of Taiwan. Yeah, do you know what? It's reached the point now that recapturing these islands is just a massive waste of my time. I think what we're going to do is plan B and go right there. And that means we just need to progress with naval dominance in one region, which is the South China Sea. Bigger naval invasion requires more advanced landing craft. Oh, we're actually hitting things now, hitting the subs. That's perfect. I wonder if it might be better to have the planes on this side. Yes, it would. We just need to build up the airbase. Brown Water Navy grants all infantry river movement, attack, defense. Man, that's really strong. Okay, OP. It's actually fun playing with new focus regions. You discover new stuff in there and you're like, oh, that's really strong. Oh, that's really strong. Oh, that's really cool. So it's quite a fun experience. It's kind of strange that the most developed region of Brazil is the Amazon, just because I've built the infrastructure up to 100. Queuing up those civilian factories. And then go, go, go. I realize infrastructure might be a good thing inside of Argentina, but they've got no states that have like lots and lots of resources. They're all kind of evenly distributed, which is kind of annoying. Oh, naval invade right next to me. Japan, what were you thinking? That's a bunch of Marines destroyed. Can they pierce us? They can. Ooh, the armor on the tanks isn't very good. There's an opportunity to slap on more armor. Can we put on maybe skirts, maybe? I don't think we have the tech for that. No, we don't. But this gives us an additional bunch of armor, so let's do it. Right. Naval invasion support in this region. 45% naval supremacy required. Okay, can we just deploy like every single plane we've ever got? Because this gives us a bonus to air superiority. And then everyone go here. And is that enough to put us over 46%? We need 50% to do the naval invasion. We're so close. Oh, here we go. And we're off. So what might have happened is I might have struck a capital ship. They've gone off to repair. And now this gives us that tiny little window for an opportunity for a naval invasion. This grabs Taiwan from them. Is there any other ports? No. So once we grab this, we've got the island. It's so strange. There's like an island with only one actual port. And that's it. And then we plan the next one, I guess. Here, island hopping. Off we go. And then I guess we build an airbase here. Can I have control of Taiwan? They refuse. Classic China, right? In a way, it makes perfect sense. Okay, this one. Jungle Engineering Training. Unlocks a special battalion of jungle pioneers, gaining movement and attack and defense. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, you can see our Air Force active here now. We're participating in the missions in this region. And we're coming into contact with Japanese Air Force because we're close to the home islands. It's more difficult to get naval supremacy in these regions. Is it possible to do a naval invasion here, though? That's the big question. And getting 50% is going to be a push. Do we have to abandon Taiwan to come back later? I don't want to do that. But then I have to start working on my planes too. I don't even have machine guns. You have to research machine guns. You think I'd already have machine guns, right? Wouldn't you? Here we go. Jungle Pioneer Company. Jungle Pioneer Company gains hot acclimatization. Should probably get rid of that and then compare it like for like. So you're basically getting forest, jungle attack, and river attack. It's kind of like an engineer, isn't it? That's kind of cool. I like it. Oh, and they pulled their navy out. Oh my god, the luck. The luck is up today. And then do convoy escort. Then we put the planes back up again. Advanced landing craft. Then we take out the island. Doesn't look like they've got any troops here as well. It's like we unfortunately got struck there by the big Japanese navy. But surprisingly, we came out on top though. Again. And another naval invasion. Guess we could build another port. Oh, this is the first time Brazil occupies some actual land as enemy territory as well. Oof. I completely battered my fleet here. Months being repaired. Okay, East China Sea, land into mainland. I'm gonna have to cancel the repairs. Naval invasion support, 37%. This might be another one of those instances where initially we can't do the naval invasion, but then they'll pull their fleet out or something. 34%. I'm just gonna have to be patient. Hey! And like clockwork, here we are. The mainland. Oh, we pushed them out. That's the power of these marine-based amphibious troops. They are so strong. Okay, this is best when you micro this. I always battle plan this and make an absolute cock up of it. So what I'm going to just do is micro it manually myself. I'm going to make a battle plan. And I'm going to put them on aggressive, but I will manually move everything myself. Because otherwise, things like this happen. Like, you move over the port here, and you're like, oh, I made a breakthrough. No, you've not made a breakthrough, because they're just instantly going to pull out. All right. Lads are going to move over. I think all the planes that can actually got machine guns, air superiority based ones, I'm immediately going to move those over. Struggling to bust Hiroshima. Looks like we're probably going to have to get an encirclement on it and then take it. Once again, another front line broken here. This happens all the time in Japan. Japan's the worst for this. So you have to manually move them around and tell them where to go. And then close that front line. That's good. And then go aggressive. I think we might take Hiroshima now. Yeah, there we go. And there we go. We've got a good foothold now. So I think we're in a position now that we can mop up. Oh, and here goes the big daddy fleet for Japan. That was a big carrier fleet. Oh, we push over the strait and it was just flawless. Oh, so good. Found an opportunity to get an encirclement on Kyoto. Nah. Instantly break out. No lie, I am really impressed by the firepower of these divisions. I think it's all down to the fact that they're special forces, and special forces have got loads of modifiers to give them lots of attack advantage. So it's put them in a situation here where they're just doing incredible damage. Incredible. One time I see a straight here, I'm like, oh, breaking straights, they're such a nightmare. But I'm like, hang on, these are marine-based divisions, and just take them out like they're nothing. Oh, like a knife through butter. Take a pause here. We'll cancel the front line. H to hold. Z front line. X offensive order. Getting position. Control B to get them in the front line. Staff office plan. Build up that planning bonus. 3, 2, 1. Activate the battle plan. And you can see the damage now is significantly higher because they didn't have time to entrench. And then we can break their capital. Hang on. Yokohama? Was that always in the game? Am I going mad? I don't recall there was a city right next to Tokyo. And that is a capped Japan. I'm thinking to myself right now, wouldn't it be great to have a navy? But I'm like, what would I even do with it? I suppose the naval part of this game is already kind of done. I suppose the Mediterranean, I guess. My contribution is minimal. Like, I have to take piece by piece. Oh, that sucks. That's it. I got no more contribution. Some screening ships from Thailand. Do I take any piece of land? Maybe island? Nah, I've run out of war score. My contribution was 17%. I would have thought that was so high. But no, it's not enough. And what have they done to Japan? Oh, look, and fascist Japan with Hirohito, who still exists. Nice. Perfectly balanced game. All right, you know this part, right? Let's skip to the good part. Oh, wow. Italy. Trying to re-land into Africa. Nice. Japan joining the Axis again. Why? You know this next part, right? You've seen this on my channel dozens of times. It's usually my normal favorite place to do a naval invasion. But today, I chose Japan. And it was fun. It was something a bit different, you know? So I'm thankful I did something different today. There is something else I've forgotten about that I think is really cool. No fascism in South America gets free war goals against every fascist nation in South America. Venezuela, Peru. It's not looking too good for you. Ooh, did that rhyme? Ooh, poetry. I also find that you tend to find it's a little bit easy to do a fallback line to make troops rally to a certain location. Also, area defense works quite well. But right now, I have a #1 goal, and that is to keep the Italians out. Oh, I've seen the Italians' outfits here. They're like African-based troops, militia, aren't they? Is the supply going to be too bad to do anything here? No, I can kick them out. I even overrun them. Get out of here. Piece by piece, one by one. Get out of there. However, the mountains seem to be the crux. Can break the hardest of rivers, but unfortunately, the mountain range is too difficult. And that leaves them on one port, and that means encirclement town. Population U. Once again, you're not winning this battle, but remember every division that the orgs gets encircled, so therefore eventually you will eventually win if you just keep pushing into this one region. And it's done. What's that? What do you say? What do you say? Naval invasion? What a great idea. We hand out some medals while we're waiting for this naval invasion. Supply reduction or attack? I think I'll go for the supply reduction. It additionally gives a bonus to division recovery rate too, so that's pretty good. Meanwhile, how we're doing? Greece is stalemate, as it usually is, because the AI can't break the center with the bad supply. Also... Oh, Barbarossa is looking pretty good. Ooh, that's looking really good. 57%. Once again, if you want to cap the Soviet Union as the axis, you have to push past the Urals. Unless you have a collaboration government, you can push just after you've taken all the key cities the west of the Urals. Really sad that you need that so much land. But it is what it is. When you plan a naval invasion and America beats you to it. America trying to steal my thunder. It went well though. All worth in the end. Clean up duty. And just sliced across Sicily. I wonder how strong this would be if I had an adaptable general. He's gained a little bit of XP in Mountaineer. And that's pretty much it. This guy's turned out to be an overall pretty much a failure. This is not leveled up the way I would have liked. Damn, you suck, bro. And this is blindfold battle planning across Italy. It's my favorite thing to do this. You sweep across the coastline and you encircle them in the center. It's again my favorite thing to do in Italy. Do I get them? Oh, I get them. I get them good. Yes, yes. I'm patting myself on the back right now. Unfortunately, I don't actually occupy any of the land. Oh, watch this. Civil War will kick off here. And I bet this goes to America. Hey, Panzer leader. I'll take that. Bit late. Better late than never, right? Yeah, they got Panzer expert. Get a +1 attack if I go for offensive doctrine. Yeah, why not? All right, Civil War happened. Germans control the north as they do. We're about the south. Britain? 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 British? Tibet has joined the Axis. Oh, here we go. China always joins the Allies later on, and that's when the Civil War happens. And boom! Italy has capitulated. What a mess. Oh, I've noticed Spain joins the Axis more and more in this version. Okay, Italy sorted. I think I'm gonna, once again, play a game of I don't usually do this simulator. And we're gonna push westward through France. See, Vichy France has been annexed by Germany. Yeah, I just let me walk all the way around them. Meanwhile, fuel, always a problem. No, never mind, I encircled myself. I did this to myself. Self-inflicted wound. But meanwhile, the Alps are breakable. Amphibious tanks through the mountains. I can't even think of a historical reference that would even be. Is this the elephants through the Alps? No, this is the amphibious tanks through the Alps. Oh yeah, forgotten. Spain, you're in the war as well, aren't you? What I'll do is, because I've got limited divisions, I'm going to make a slice to the center with battle plans. Just push all the way eastward and then split them from north and south. Then I can control my forces and push towards Spain, knock them out, and turn around and take out Germany. Autopilot mode. No battle plan. If you didn't exist, I would definitely miss you. Is no one else going to join the Allies? I can't believe you're leaving me out in the cold like this. Out of Brittany, out of Normandy, turn around, out of Spain. So casualties. I've inflicted 340,000. It's not that high. I haven't lost 28k. 6k to Germany. It's basically nothing. I realized I've forgotten about flame tanks. Dave, this is the worst min-max ever. Agreed. Whoa! Hello! And I just realized it's 1946. Berlin has been nuked. Was that the first nuke? No, it wasn't, because there would have been an event pop-up for it, so that wasn't the first nuke. And meanwhile, the East has turned a massive push through Ukraine. But this is just a side quest. Because I talked earlier about eradicating fascism from South America, didn't I? You remember that? Yep, and I am still going to do that. Naval invasion. Oh, I can actually go from... No, I'm going to go from my own territory and land into their capital. These divisions are so strong. Oh my god, logistical wizard. Oh, we have a new field marshal, and he was the guy who was commanding the troops directly, and now it's someone replaced with... Oh man, you're all rubbish. Terrible. Anyway, you're gonna go. We're gonna have to go with you. And then bring my navy over. Okay, I'm gonna show you the ultimate dumpstering of Venezuela here. So we're gonna get all the spies in here. We're gonna do a naval invasion. We're gonna have the big ass fleet, as I talked about earlier. I realize we've got 3 carriers here. Oh, that's the ones we got from Japan. Oh, this is a mighty fine fleet now. Save it until last, right? Flame tank. And of course, you always make a medium flame tank because that's kind of the most cost-effective tank to make. And you make it with interwar because it's relatively cheap. The only thing I've been conscious about this time is the speed, because I want to keep the speed up. Oh, and slap that on. All right, boys came back from Europe. Some of them are a little bit battered and bruised. Venezuela. Invade from the north. Through the Amazon? That would be stupid, wouldn't it? So we're going to go straight through. Well, straight through. We're not going to go through anything. We're going to go round the outside and land into north of Venezuela. And they land. And they land, for the most part, mostly unopposed. There's only really 3 cities in Venezuela you need to grab. The capital, this one to the west, and then there's this one here in the Amazon. Once again, we attack like we're completely unopposed. Normally be attacking onto the islands would be difficult, but I just don't care because we have Marines. And there you go, that's the final city gone. Hey, there's one left. Mr. Peru. Peru. And attacking through the Andes? That would be suicide. I'm going to naval invade you. It's going to be the toughest one yet, though, think about it, because it's going to be a naval invasion onto our mountain capital. Is this doable? The hardest mission yet. Oh, and Germany's capped. Am I going to take Venezuela? Yes. I didn't even check what my contribution was there. Someone can rewind the tape and actually see. Germany got capped. I presume that the Allies steamrolled in. Most of Europe. Oh, no, it's an even split. East and West. And oh, unfortunately, Spain got divided. Might even be a realistic thing that happened now. And the communists have arrived. Ooh. Are we going to see a communist victory in the Civil War? Actually, probably not, because the Allies are going to intervene. Curious to see, if I try and leave Britain right now and leave the Allies, will I have the option to create my own faction? You cannot create factions without having the national spirit to do so. Okay. But I have this national spirit, don't I? Reach out to our neighbors. I'm just curious to see if it's possible to get them to join my faction and diplomatically annex them. I mean, I did these joins because they naturally joined the Allied in those historical days. But I wonder if all the others can... That's possible that can happen. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. The Soviet Union has declared war on France. Interesting. It feels like there's every new expansion for Hoi 4 comes out. Something bizarre like this happens, like some kind of war that happens right after World War II. Peru is justifying... On me? They are. They're justifying for their claims in the north. That's insane. Okay, reach out to our neighbors. We're in a faction now. And to invite them to faction, we need to boost our relations. I have a feeling this is not actually doable. This is something like it's hard-coded, so you can't even do it. Panama, technically North America? A little part of it is? South America? So the fascist path, which is kind of the right path here, America does Sol. That allows you to call all of South America. But this just allows you to annex them. So it's kind of like... I like how they're a little bit different. There's a bit of flavor to them. They're not just the same. Like, both of them core, everything, you know? Alright, naval invasion. We've got 11 divisions, boys. This could go awfully wrong. Is it enough? I presume there are victory points along the coastline, so if I just grab those, it's pretty much over. Landing onto mountains. 50% penalty, still just demolishing them. Oh, that is so awesome. And, as expected, landed. Oh, man, I love these divisions so much. Special forces are a bit of a nightmare and a bit finicky to create, and mess with, and tweak. But, man, when you make them and they land and they perform this effectively, it's an absolute pleasure. And the north captured. The south. Can we get it? And the south. Remember, these are Marines, by the way. These are Marines fighting in mountains. Oh, we've not capped them. Surely they're close to being capped here. No, they're not. Maybe it's this city here? There's this one here and there's this one here too. Capped from the other side. All right, so that's the wars done. So what I'm going to use now is use the spies to do diplomatic pressure. Diplomatic pressure allows you to get a little bit more control for your faction to push them towards wanting to join you. We've maxed their relations out. A lot of them have like neutrality focus and stuff like that, so I don't think they're even willing to accept. Look at Paraguay. Invite to faction. Positive 73, negative 116. Have strategic reasons to be hostile. That still wouldn't make any difference anyway. They're non-aligned. That loses a massive chunk of why they would like to join. Neither they nor are in a war. Why would that make a difference? And there's this one here. Just basically the same. Then we have Ecuador. Ecuador's the worst of them all, actually. Positive 21, negative 121. Diplomatic pressure is basically making no difference, like plus 15, plus 16, barely anything. And Colombia is basically a big no-no as well. I wonder what that one is there. Feeling threatened by. I've never seen that one before. I wonder what that comes from. Is it due to my size? Is it due to the size of my armed forces? I'm not sure. But there we go. World War III has already begun. Looks like the Republican Chinese are about to win the Chinese Civil War. It happens every single game. And finally, Operation Unthinkable has happened. It was Stalin that fired the first shot, though. Oh, what a mess. And here is my awful South America as well. It's all awful. Yeah, I don't think there's a way of diplomatically annexing. That sucks. But hey, look at the size of me. I'm pretty girthy, aren't I? 134, 204 civilian factories compared to America's. Oh, basically got the same size economy as America. We're basically the United States of South America. Amazing. Did you enjoy this, guys? Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want this kind of content. Let me know in the comments anything I could have done better. I am open to criticism. Apart from that, boys, we have an absolutely awesome day. If you want another video, click on this one on screen. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.